Good afternoon, I am Tiro, and let's play Duck Hunt! Alrighty, dog. Let's get some ducks. Quit laughing! So anyways, I woke up one morning and heard the geese flying over my house, as they are common to do so. And so I said to myself, can't shoot geese, so I guess ducks will be a nice substitute. Something wrong with my trigger? Yeah, what's wrong is the person behind the trigger. Because it's that time of year. They have finished making their babies? No. Yes, northern is the breeding grounds. They finished with all the little goslings, and now they're heading south for the winter. But in the meanwhile, it's not Wabbit season. And although this game is probably as common as Super Mario Brothers, I doubt many people know it who haven't played it before. Because in the original Nintendo, it's called a Nintendo Entertainment System, and basically had a video game and a zapper, so you have this little combination arcade device for your home to enjoy. And in the fancier ones, you had the Nintendo World Track Meet with the Power Pad, which is probably about 20 years before DDR. So basically you have the little, I think it was like the Power Pad. Let's see, what games were the Power Pad? Let's see, Nintendo Track Meet. I think there's some type of gymnastics game. And then the awful Track and Field 2 game, which I have. Just horrific button mashing. But basically it was something more of a, let's say, novelty device. Almost how the Wii is these days. Or I should say the Wii with Wii Sports. But enough history lessons. It's time to shoot some ducks. Because we do not like birdies. Although more importantly, we do not like the Duck Hunt dog, who is the actual villain in Super Mario Brothers. Oh sure, you may think it's Peach. Not Peach, Bowser. But it's actually the Duck Hunt dog who's the machinations over everything. And it's so sad that he is not an assist trophy, or wasn't. Although I don't know what his special ability would be, aside to, let's say, laugh at the opponent. But I think that would be totally worth it. Whoa, whoa! I should not be doing this bad. I blame the gun. The Nintendo Zapper is probably most known in the orange color, but it was originally gray because guns are violence and we shouldn't allow children to have them. This is not to say with the original Japanese one, which actually looked like a Magnum revolver, or just a revolver. I don't know too much about gun lore. Besides that, it's the right of every American citizen to have one, and to exercise it efficiently. Because otherwise, how are we going to stop the Duck Menace, or the King of England, from coming out of nowhere? Although, I guess it's not too much worry, because I believe the current king is the Prince Consort for France. So they seem all fine. But yes. To hunt duckies, especially in the digital form. And this is odd because this is one of those few games, especially in the early times, that you have to be honest. Because I could just very easily cheat and go straight to the screen and shoot. Another trick is supposedly to smear Vaseline or petroleum jelly over the zapper barrel. And that supposedly makes everything hit the target. But that kind of gets messy. And although you can reach things to the screen, there's just certain games that is not a feasible technique, because if you stand back, you could cover a lot of distance by moving the gun, or at least aiming a couple of inches here and there. If you're close to the screen, you have to move the actual 6 or 3 inches to move. Ah, one day, Duck Hunt Dog, one day. Ah, the clay chute. I don't even know why I'm trying, since this will be more difficult than the ducks. So you need honesty in this game. And the sad thing is that not everybody can enjoy Duck Hunt, because it only works on cathode rays televisions. I don't believe anyone knows how the hardware actually works. But I've tried it out, it doesn't work on an LCD screen. And for my capture card, it does not work with the cathode ray computer monitor, even if it's like a full screen. Supposedly it has to do something with reflection, and that every time to shoot, the zapper takes the zapper receives the image of the screen of where it's shot, and there's some type of calculation and figures out what happened. So that is why I'm doing this. And although there are shooter games for the Wii, and I guess maybe the PlayStation and the Xbox as well, or eventually, it's not quite the same. Because most games on the rails have a cursor to tell you where you're shooting. Here, you have to use your actual sight and skill, which is why I'm horrible at them. Unless you happen to manage to have a game that removes the sight. And of course you probably need a proper peripheral to simulate a gun of some sort. Because pointing and clicking is not the same as using a sight. Supposedly the Nintendo Wii Zapper is awful. And Nyko produces, I believe, the Sure Shot or Perfect Shot, which is pretty decent. Although they produce another gun peripheral which is better than the Sure Shot or Perfect Shot, because the trigger mechanism is more fluid, resembling a realistic gun or some sort. And I believe also the Nerf one is pretty decent as well. And also doubles as a Nerf dart gun, so you can't go wrong there. Aside the fact that you purchased a game based off the Nerf franchise. But hey, if it's fun, do what works. On the clay chute with the background that resembles so much the Tandy computers. I wonder if the Apple IIe was able to get this type of graphics. Maybe in select situations. But then they always had the weird graphics where it's like, it's supposed to be black, but they use like a purple and green, almost iridescent rainbow coloration. Yeah. How we have come across things. And for those who don't know, the clay chute is actually harder than the ducks, because they go in curves. The targets are in curves are a lot more difficult than straight lines, because straight lines you can kind of anticipate. Here you need a little bit more of a understanding of geometry. In addition, the targets are smaller, they move slightly faster, and they get tinier and tinier as time goes along. Just reminds me when games came with more than one type of play mode. Oh well. So until next time, I'm Tiro, and have fun gaming. See ya!